Here are the chords to Rihanna's Diamonds. The piano riff's the same all the way through, so if you just learn these three chords, you can play the whole song. Here's what they're going to sound like. And so on. So we'll break that down step by step, starting with the left hand. Left hand is just 3 notes, which you're going to play with these 3 fingers. And the first one is a G with your 3rd finger. And this is the lowest G on the piano. So middle C is here, go down 2 octaves and a bit, and you have the G. And all you do is go from G with your 3rd finger to B with your thumb, and then A with your 2nd finger. And that's it. Just those 3 notes in that order, going round and round. So the right hand's a little trickier. We have these 3 chords, and then another version of the same chord at the end. So 4 different chords in the right hand. We're just going to start with the first 2. So we're starting just below middle C here. And you have D, G, and B with your thumb, 2nd finger, and 4th finger. And if that feels awkward, if you try to play it at the edge of the white keys, it'll feel really awkward and you'll have to twist your hand like this. So your 2nd finger and 4th finger are much longer than your thumb, so they should be further forward on the key. So really press the G and B right the way up here. If you can, playing them between the black notes. If not, play them just below the level of the black notes like that, with your fingers really curled. And that chord should be comfortable. So once you can play that chord okay, practice going from this one to the 2nd one. So something that'll help you find the 2nd chord from the first one is that the top note of the first chord is the bottom note of the 2nd chord. So this has B at the top, this has B at the bottom. So the 2nd chord is B with your thumb, D with your 3rd finger, and F sharp with your 5th finger. And again, it's most comfortable if you play the D right the way up here, between the black keys if you can. If not, play it just below them like that, with a curved finger. So practice going from this chord to this one. And I'm using the pedal to fill in the gap there, so this chord stays on even after I play it, but don't worry about the pedal to begin with. Just get the notes like this, and the right fingers to begin with. So what's tricky here is that on this chord, you're using your fingers 2 and 4, but on this one, you're using your fingers 3 and 5. So you're switching from this to this. 2 and 4 to 3 and 5. So if you haven't done that before in another piece, practice this lots until you can really go between those 2 chords without tensing up or without having to think about the fingers too much. So once you've got those first 2 chords, you can then practice going from the 2nd chord, this one, to the 3rd chord. So when going from here to here, everything moves down a note on the scale. So that means you go from G, D, F sharp with your thumb, 3rd and 5th, to A, C sharp and E with your thumb, 2nd and 4th. So before you do anything else, just get this 2nd chord down. Thumb on A, 2nd on C sharp, 4th finger on E. And again, I'm hitting that E quite far down the key like that. So practice going from this chord, B, D, F sharp, to this one, A, C sharp, E. And notice that, again, I'm going from fingers 3 and 5 to fingers 2 and 4. If you find that tricky, practice doing what I'm doing now first. So start with 3 and 5 on D and F sharp, and then notice that your fingers 2 and 4 are already over C sharp and E. So if you just switch to those fingers, you'll play the right notes without having to move your hand. Like that. D and F sharp with 3 and 5, to C sharp and E with 2 and 4. Once you can do that, you can add the thumb. So the thumb just moves from B down to A, and the rest of your hand just stays where it is. So if you look at the back of my hand, it doesn't move, but my thumb is just moving from right to left. So that's the second chord going into the third chord. So far we have this one, jump all the way up here, move everything down a note. So remember, this one you have B at the top, this one you have B at the bottom, and then move everything down a note. So now we just have one more chord to do, and the last one's quite easy. It's easier than the first three. So this is the last chord we had, A, C sharp and E. And to get the fourth chord, we're going to keep our thumb on A like that. And we're going to take these two notes and just split them either side like this. So you're playing B with your second finger and F sharp with your fifth. So now putting the A in, that's the third chord, and that's the fourth one. So that's A, B, and F sharp. So like I said, I think the easiest way to see it is your thumb stays on A, and these two notes just move outwards like that. So if you can play these two, one after the other, then you should be able to play all four chords. Now before you think that you've learned the whole riff, there's one more thing you need to practice before you bring the left hand in, and that's going from the fourth chord back to the first chord, because that's quite a big jump, and you have very little time to do it, because the riff goes like this. This is all quite slow, but then at the end, you have to go from this chord to this one really fast. So before we add the left hand, just practice that. Practice going from A, B, and F sharp, right the way down to D, G, and B. And remember that when you go to this chord again, you need to use fingers thumb, second, and fourth. So don't use your fifth finger on that chord. Fifth finger here, and switch to fourth on this one. So you need to be able to do that quite fast. If you can do that, then you can play the whole riff in the right hand. And then it's pretty easy adding the left. So you remember the left is just third on G, thumb on B, second on A, and those three notes just go with the first three chords. And the fourth chord in the right hand is by itself, so in the left you just keep your second finger on A. So the only thing I'll say is when you put the hands together, make sure you keep the fingering the same. So make sure you're starting with your third in the left hand, and then going to your second on that A. Same with the right hand. Remember to start with your fourth at the top, and then switch to your fifth on that chord. Back to your fourth, and then fifth again. So in the right hand, if you look at the top note of each chord and which finger plays them, it's your fourth on the first one, fifth on the second, fourth on the third, and fifth on the last one. So 4, 5, 4, 5. Fourth finger, fifth finger, fourth finger, and then fifth. So that's the fingering in the right hand. And lastly, of course, just add pedal to fill in the gaps between the chords. And if you want to copy the sound of the recording more, you can repeat the chords really quietly. So play a loud one to begin with, and then put an echo in afterwards. Like that. If you found this video useful, check out the link below, and I've recorded another video about speed learning, how to learn anything in record time. Thanks for watching.